Hello, everybody. You're watching FOADEBATE. In the second part of my conversation with Professor Alexander Azadgan, we discussed the challenges ahead in the negotiation process. He pointed out several issues that were not only relevant to my questions but also thought-provoking. These challenges, whether direct or indirect, are significantly intertwined with the fate of Iran and its political, economic, and social future, as well as its relationship with the world. Therefore, they are of great importance, and the authorities should make the necessary predictions and preparations, which I hope they will. Here's the second part of my conversation with Alexander Azadgan, focusing on the challenges ahead in the negotiation process and potential ways to overcome them. Let's watch it.
That's one challenge. We're talking a major clash between conservative thinking, which in my opinion is correct thinking, whether it's in Iran or Washington or in Europe, versus this new liberal mindset of a handful of countries just setting the rules for everybody, and let's just go back to colonial days and we, 5, 6, 10 countries, let's say G7 or G20 makes a decision for the whole world. So that is one challenge, and the JCPOA is within that framework. Another challenge is that there's a transition of leadership that will be taking place in the next couple of years, perhaps in Iran. The Iranian supreme leader is 85 years old, around that age, and while we are hope and pray for good health for all global leaders who want to act in a peaceful manner, there's a lot of nervousness in Iran. What's going to happen if will the system continue as it is? Will there be a supreme leader? Will it go into a form of a council? Will the whole system collapse? Iran is under tremendous economic pressure externally. Iran's got all sorts of internal economic issues. The Iranian banking system, in my opinion, is a disaster. Not everything should be blamed on the foreigners and on the sanctions. Tremendous corruption within Iran, and there's a lot of division and within Iran, and to a point where Iran was running out of electricity a few months ago. I mean, it's just unbelievable. An oil-rich country running out of electricity and have to ration electricity. These are terrible things for the morale of the Iranian people at a time when the value of Iranian toman has been declining for the past, I would say, 10 years. People's savings have been just basically evaporated. So these are all tactics, by the way. The reason neither Israel or U.S. have attacked Iran is because it's much cheaper to destroy Iran slowly, economically, socially, morally, politically, much cheaper. This is what they did to Iraq, by the way, when Saddam Hussein gave up everything and the weapons inspectors came in after the first Gulf War in 1990, forgive me. It took 10 years or 13 years before George W. Bush attacked in 2003 and invaded and occupied that country. They have the same plan for Iran. First, to demoralize the nation. And then what happens is that people will lose their sense of nationalism, patriotism, belief in the system, belief in the leadership. And then Iran has so many what I call anti-Iran. They like to call it anti-Islamic Republic. It's really anti-Iran, Persian-speaking media spewing falsehood and propaganda 24/7 to the Iranians in Iran and all the fools outside of Iran who still watch these channels. And so there is this psychological warfare on steroids that no other country actually has against it. Not even Russia, not even China. And this is, of course, the brains behind this are the Israelis. Now, this could change. President Trump could curb, believe it or not, even though the people he has in charge, people like Marco Rubio, bought and paid for Zionist lackey Secretary of State, and then, of course, this lunatic Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense. These people are neocons, but they're not going to be let loose in this administration like they were under President George W. Bush, or even the neocons under Biden, believe it or not. Neocons are like lizards. They change color. Sometimes they're Democrats, sometimes they're Republican. What they really are, they're pro-Zionist. They believe in dual loyalty. Hegseth talked about dual loyalty. This is against the Constitution. You need to, when you swear to the Constitution of the United States, you cannot have loyalty to any other country. We are an occupied nation, Fuad. The Israelis are acting in United States without impunity. We had this war criminal, racist, national security minister of Israel, Ben Gavir, who's in Washington now, going around in New York, causing all sorts of problems. People in this country are sick and tired of war. President Trump completely understands that. President Trump is a peace and reconciliation president. Contrary to his, lingo and his attacks, he doesn't want war. He's what the new liberals describe as an isolationist. I don't like that term. I think he believes in let's focus on America first, in our infrastructure, drill baby drill. Let's get our own oil. All the good things that people want in this country to make America great again. This is what people want. We don't want war anymore. The American people, especially the wonderful Jewish Americans who are pro-Palestine, against war with any country, including Russia, they believe that anyone who follows the counsel of someone like Netanyahu, who was the reason for 9/11, who was lobbying Washington in the late 90s to start all these wars in the Middle East. Anyone who agrees with that notion is an enemy of the United States.